Hey everybody, welcome back. Another day in the markets. Woohoo! So yesterday we had our special live stream, of course, because Hex had got over 2 cents and it rallied on since then to about 2.4 cents, something like that. It's doing pretty magic. Rich mode has been activated, as I said. Today we're going to be looking at a few different things. TitanX ecosystem. Volt is looking very incredible. And look at that. Of course, we're going to talk about Dog getting some brilliant news. And of course Zen as well, X1 that's coming up. That's probably the most delayed stuff there, but but looking forward to X1. And of course Hex, we're going to cover that again, and PulseX I think undervalued, so we're going to talk about that and much more. We've got some price predictions. Can you believe it? Price predictions from the #1 pulse chain and PulseX sacrificer Iraq and Rochelle. We're going to look at that for 2025. So if you love price predictions, that's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to get into that, and we've got a cool timeline for TitanX projects coming up. So I hope you guys enjoy the latest and greatest. It's going to be fun. Don't you love crypto? I do. We got Wookie in the house there. Mind your step Jedi, says Wookie. And we got Hexcavator in the house there. Digging Gains, Hexcavator. Have we got two Hexcavators in the house, or are they the same person with different accounts? Hexcavator in the house there. Moderator. Howdy, folks. Good to see Hexcavator as always. We got Hybrids Win in the house there. Hi, Hex Token, and hi, everybody. Hey, good to see Hybrids Win. Hope you're doing well. Like that green circle there, looking good. All right, get into the chat, folks. Get lively. If you've got anything we haven't talked about, get it in the chat there, and we'll consider that too. Let's get into the markets, and we're going to start off with our usual format. So we're going to get into crypto, then we're going to get into meme coins, then we're going to get into Pulse Chain, then we're going to get into TitanX with a pretty full wrap up of that. So look forward to that. It's coming up. Yeah, we're going to cover Dog and Zen a little bit as well. All right, so let's go for gold. Bam. We got Bitcoin just pulling back a little bit after under 90K. What do we get up to? About 93,500 or something like that. So we're at 89,500 at the moment, down 1.2%. Bitcoin dominance at 57.4%. So what are we going to top out Bitcoin dominance? Are we going to get to 65, 70% before we top out and then start altcoin season and then run all the way down to 40%? Is that what we're going to see? So that's what we're kind of looking at, those boundary ranges. We've got Ethereum at the moment, 3,062. That's come down a little bit too, 2.5%. Solana still looking pretty good. That is up 8.8% at $233. So Solana doing well there. Now, talking about Solana, obviously we're pretty interested in Jack Levin's X1 chain, which is in final development really. So the final test net. We're looking for mainnet alpha as it is, and maybe December for mainnet alpha. Let's see where we head up there. But that's going to be the first fork of Solana, as I understand it, and it's going to have all the latest and greatest bells and whistles, including hydrogen layer and much more. So we're looking forward to that, and it should run autonomously without being stopped at all. So that's the other side of it. We got XRP is down 4% after having a pretty awesome run at $1.06. The other one that's had a good run is ADA, which is still at 70 cents, down 5.5% at the moment. So just a bit of chilling, except for Solana there amongst the leaders. Tron down 1.1% there, just under 20 cents. What do we got? Litecoin there. Litecoin is down 9.25%. That's a lot. $86.68 on that one. Those are kind of our leaders there. And BNB just down almost 1%, $617. So that's kind of the roundup of the leaders. Let's go to Bitcoin itself on the chart. So this is the hourly. You can see that we kind of tapered off a little bit on the hourly there. Started rounding down. Back here is when we had the high. We had $93,495 for the high on Coinbase. Isn't that pretty cool? We're currently just below that at the moment, bouncing off what 88,800. So kind of cool. Let's go to the daily though on Bitcoin and see how that's looking with our golden cross. Golden cross, look, it almost touched back here into a bearish, into a death cross, but no, it stayed the golden cross, and boy has it been golden. It's been super golden. And we are looking very good. As you guys know, we've already hit our Christmas target, which was 90 to 100K. We already hit it. Yeah, we're in that range already. We're going to consolidate around there. Maybe we have an upside of 120K by Christmas. So that's definitely plausible there as well. Now, it depends, of course, what's happening with Trump. Trump's coming in, obviously doing some amazing things at the UFC yesterday, or overnight at least. And yeah, the magic's happening. But what will the Democrats be doing? Are they strategizing to set up some sort of shadow government? Is the deep state going to be moving on before inauguration? All these sort of things in play. We know the political enemies do not want his plans for America to return it to normalcy they wanted to push it towards authoritarianism. So we're going to see what happens in the next month or two with that. All right, so that's where we're at the moment, looking pretty good. And of course, looking forward to 2025. All things go well. We're going to have a good time there. Good time. Let me just put a little line in here actually for the inauguration, because that's going to be the 20th of January. So we're going to put that in there. That will be in that one. It's what do we got there? We got the line. We got the. Let's just put that in a deadline there. We'll just do normal. We're going to do normal for that too. And we'll put a little text box here. And we're going to put Trump inauguration. Let's just spell that, don't I? Inauguration. Inauguration. Actually, I don't even remember how to spell that. So we're just going to put Trump. We'll put Trump there for the time being until I have a look at how to spell that. All right. So that is where we are at the moment on that. So everything looking pretty good. Everything looking really good on the chart. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment, 3,067 on the hourly. We've tapered off there too. Recently, we got up to what, 3,220. We're down around 3,069 at the moment. Do we have a little breach of 3,000? No, we've managed to stay above that on the hourly. Let's go to the daily. And let's put that in there at the moment. So recently, we got into the high of $3,446. We've been as low as a couple of days ago. We got as low as 3,012. So staying over 3,000 here at the moment, 3,064. So a good little move there. And guess what's happening? Look at that. We've got a golden cross, of course, which is opening up on Bitcoin. But we've got a golden. We're in the death cross at the moment still, right? We got in the death cross all the way back here in August. And now it looks like we're about to get our golden cross. So with the yellow line, which is the 50-day moving average, moving over the blue line, which is the 200-day moving average there. And look at that, pretty close now, isn't it? How far apart are they? Not far. $44 away, $44 away. So good news, golden cross coming for Ethereum. Bring on altcoin season, right? Bring on altcoin season. Very, very excited. All right, so let's leave Ethereum at the moment. And let's have a look at the meme coins there. We've got 53 billion for Dogecoin at the moment. Obviously, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy there are going to be leading up the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Dodge. So it's been a nice double narrative for Dodge, isn't it? And of course, moved it up to 53 billion. We got SHIB in there at the moment at 14.5, and then Pepe just under 9 billion. So that's kind of our three leading meme coins, and they're ranked 7th, 12th, and 19th overall in all of the crypto. So they're still doing pretty well. Now, Pepe is up pretty aggressively for the week, 73%. Dogecoin up 33%. SHIB is actually down 5%, so that's kind of the number there. Now, Bonk's had a good week as well, up 102%. Peanut has had a good time as well, up 123%. New entrant into the leaderboard. Let's see what else is going pretty well. Dog, of course, which is what we cover. We're big backers of Dog. That's at 770 million, so heading back towards that $980 million, which is where it got to last time. It's up 86% for the week, 31% overnight. So it's actually the best performer, isn't it, amongst all the leaders? And there's good reason for that, because not only did they get on Kraken Perpetuals the other day, which kickstart this moon, but they also have got a news around the Binance futures. So that's what's kicking that off. You can see here on Magic Eden, the number one DEX for runes and other things like that, ordinals, is now at 8.57 sats. So it's got about 8 cents here, slightly higher than the centralized exchange number. 8 cents here at the moment. So doing very well is the old Dog there on the rebound there with the good news about Kraken, and now big news around Dog on Binance. So Dog under review on Binance futures. So in other words, it's on the list for review. And I think it's just a matter of time. This is a big news, of course, getting on the futures. The other thing, of course, that you want to get spot listings. So that's the other big news coming up. So, but having it on Binance futures there, a very good sign of things for the future of Dog. Will it be able to compete with Dodge? It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Dodge now got a double narrative. Yeah, let's see if we're going to have the most expensive meme coin on the most expensive chain in the bull market for the first time ever. So that's kind of the potential future for Doggy. Not too bad, not too bad. So good news there around the markets. Now we're going to get into PulseX quickly. Before we do that, though, let's say hello to a few more people in the chat. We've got Craig Pitt in the house there. Morning all. Hey, good to see you, Craig. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Northman as well. Hex up, EHEX up 30%. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in Discord actually. So that's doing pretty well. We'll have a look at that as well, Northman. Good observation on that one. All right, let's get into Pulse Chain quickly. After that, we're going to get into TitanX and X1, all things like that. Let's get into it. So we've got day 555. Hey, you guys, we love our 555s in the old Hex community. So they're 555, day 555. And we got the price there at quadruple 0561 is down almost 0.8%, 56% of the main sacrifice price. PulseX, however, is on the positive. It is at quadruple 0316, up 0.9%. And it is got the buy and burn at the moment, 1,076 billion, and that is 5.36%. I don't think that number changed. I'm not sure. Sometimes these numbers do get a bit logged. We got incentive token $1.99, down 1.55%, and the ratio to Pulse is at 35,535. So it's definitely come down off that beautiful horizontal range it was holding for months and months and months. But it's definitely gone down from there. Hex at the moment is at 2.23 cents after breaking that 2 cent mark yesterday. So good. Got up to about 2.4 cents, is down about 0.77%. EHEX at the moment has had a rally though, quite rightly, as Northman pointed out. It is up at 0.28 of a penny. It had really got stuck down at 0.2 of a penny, but it's had a rally, and that is a good performance today. Combined price of EHEX and PX at 2.5 cents. Woo! So the beginning of Hex's glory run is beginning, and that's good news. Let's quickly look at the gas prices. 600,000 beats, so we're a bit high at the gas prices at the moment. Ethereum is 9 gwei, so we're only 816 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment, but 1 cent for actual PulseX swap at the moment. So let's look at the validators. 48,725 validators on Pulse Chain, so full DeFi chain, and the bridge 118. So looking pretty good on the value there. Is the bridge, and the DAI looks pretty similar to what we're used to, around 30 million. Ethereum and Bitcoin obviously doing better with the higher prices, but EHEX of course up over about 30% today. So we're sitting at 19.3 million on the EHEX. So that's probably the big lifter here as well. So pretty cool. In fact, not too bad. All right, so that is a day 555. Let's check out some of the bullish predictions. I know you guys want to check out Rack and Rochelle. And Rack and Rochelle here put out predictions. Obviously, the big VC, venture capitalist, the biggest Pulse Chain, PulseX sacrificer, and of course has been out of action for about 2 years due to personal concerns, but is back now better than ever. And of course, Rack and Rochelle here, price prediction for Q4 2025. We got Pulse 100 to 150x for next year. PulseX 150 to 175x next year, and that's kind of my bias. That's why I said PulseX, in my view, is particularly undervalued. We got incentive token at $6 to $12. Pretty nice, right? So what do we got at the moment? Incentive token, we've got $2. So that's a couple X's there. We've got PHEX at the moment, 60 cents to $1 for Hex on Pulse Chain. So that's a pretty good price tag. Obviously, the previous bull market we did 50 cents, and Hex was one of the top 5 coins for the last bull market. The other thing is that we got some people are more aggressive with the Hex prices. Racer Richards was talking about $1 to $3. Other people have talked about $5, $10. Particularly if you get, I think if you get the P DAI maker theory, if that comes to fruition, then we're definitely talking bigger dollars than that. So yeah, that $5 to $10 range definitely coming into view there. PDAI at the moment is at 70 cents. So that's pretty bullish. Obviously, PDAI is about 6/10 of a penny last time I looked at it. So that's potentially very bullish for PDAI. The re-rate there to $1.10. So looking at Rackham was looking at a piggening at $1. So it's quite a different view having a range like this though. Compared to the PDAI theory, which is really about pegging on large scale, PulseX and Hex with the OA and stabilizing that over-collateralization in Maker. So we will see that's Maker on Pulse Chain. So XUSD, this new stablecoin, 85 cents to $1.25. Pretty bullish about that as well. Now, Rackham does put his disclaimer. These are my personal predictions and not financial advice. Just for clarity's sake, I do have positions in all the above cryptocurrencies. opinions from other forecasters may vary. Now, as you guys know, I'm super bullish about PUSD ALGO, and I'm hoping that it gets in the mix because I think it's going to really be amazing on the scalability and earning side of things. So if you haven't participated in PUSD ALGO, we have to wait patiently to reach that 1 million target, sitting at about 443,000 at the moment. But if you want to contribute to that, you can get a 90% bonus in the video description. We have the referral link there for 90%. And if you do $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, it's inclusive, you could get bonus, you will get bonus X, which is up between 1.01 and 2%, 1.01 and 2X multiplier on top of that. So there's 2 bonuses potentially. And so consider checking that out. I've got a whole video series with Jacob on PUSD ALGO, which I think is really a flagship project, apart from in the DeFi space compared to Mafia in the GameFi space there. So those are predictions there in Q1 to Q4 2025 for Rack and Rochelle. So you can bookmark that. I will post that in the chat if you guys want to leave a comment or anything like that. Definitely check that out. All right. So that is Rack and Rochelle, the big VC whale for Pulse Chain. Usury says here, TitanX will 10x 2 months after Shogun launch. Not financial advice there. Usury says. We're going to definitely check out TitanX in a minute. But before we do that, let's wrap up Pulse Chain. Yeah, pretty awesome. The PulseX at 40,368. Definitely think there's a lot of upside to that. Let's look at Hex derivatives. We've got Acosa up 22% at the moment, and Maxi up 11%, so doing pretty well. Maxi, of course, the 15.2-year super whale out in the future, so that's going to be pretty cool. Let's have a look at influencer coins. Influencer coins at the moment, Paul Pleb up 5%. That's kind of the only real mover there. Keep an eye out for SolidX by Christmas because we're expecting that crash game to come out from DragonX founder Eric. So that's something to keep an eye on your watch list there. And the stable coins. Nothing much happening today. PDI is down at 0.6 of a penny, so that's pretty much stays stabilized there. So yeah, we're going to keep looking at. We're probably going to talk more about that in the future. And of course, Sun Mini Meal stable is supposed to target $1.60. Had a good rally the other week. Is up 3% today. And sitting at 77 cents. So that's another thing we're probably going to look at in the future as well, with maybe Hex Scouts giving us some more information about Sun Mini Meal, right? So can look out for that. All right, let's go to overall on Pulse Chain to wrap things up before we get into TitanX and X1. Let's have a look at the overalls here. So we've got $30.4 million today. Pretty good, actually, considering it's a Sunday in the US. That's very good numbers. We got the 309,000 transactions, looking pretty good. And let's have a look at some of the top performers in addition to the categories we already looked at. We've got DMT here. It's been around for 18 hours, so this has come out of nowhere. Remember, I'm not endorsing any of these. We're just going through what these are. That is up 764%, 31K liquidity. Not financial advice, of course. Souls is up, been around for 2 months, up 31%. Bullseye is up 25%. We've got XUSD, which is one of the ones on the list that Rack and Rochelle had, and that is up 19% today, sitting at 2 cents. And he had a 75 cent to what was it, $1.25 range. So yeah, there's a lot of upside for that, particularly like in these speculative stable coins, isn't he? UFOs there is up 12%, which is related to PDDC, one of our top projects without a doubt, the big DAO reflection ecosystem on the old Pulse Chain. That is up 12% there. Pika is up 12%. And those are our top, those are the ones that are above 10% at the moment on Pulse Chain today. There's many others in green, but those are the big movers at the moment. All right, so that is Pulse Chain. We're going to end up there. Pretty cool. Some nice little price predictions there from Rack and Rochelle. Let's see what else. We're going to pull up TitanX now and go for gold. How are we doing there? We're doing pretty well. Let's jump over here. We're going to have a look at some of the time map. You guys are going to like this. This is the TitanX. So let me pull this in. If you got any things that I don't talk about TitanX ecosystem, let us know in the chat there, or even X1. So obviously TitanX is founded by Jake Sharp, and of course X1 Zen is by Jack Levin. All right, so those are where we're going there. All right, so this is TitanX. So TitanX, of course, is the medium of exchange. It is the entry coin into the TitanX ecosystem. It is built on top of Ethereum at the moment, but it is going omni-chain or multi-chain in many ways. So it's going to be taking over more and more chains with its cool setup. Obviously, based on ROI protocols, based on buy and burn capture, based on auctions and all sorts of stuff, mining, minting, staking, lots of different features and different protocols built into the TitanX ecosystem. But what do you see in this chart? What do you see in this chart? What do you see in this chart? Let me know what you see in this chart. This is the weekly chart for TitanX. What do we see here? Well, we see this nice big little cup feature here and a little handle. And what else do we see at the bottom of the handle here? A very bullish a little hammer here. So we've got this very bullish hammer. And of course, that means what do we go? Up and to the right, up and to the right. So we're looking very good on the weekly for TitanX for a massive, massive break up to the right. And of course, it's going to be exciting to see that play out. So very, very cool chart there on TitanX. So that is the weekly chart. That's your first little piece of bullish alpha there with the cup and handle and a bullish hammer. It's looking very good for up and to the right. So keep an eye out on that. Now, let's have a look at where we're going to be heading. For that, we're going to be going to the daily and we're going to add in the overlays. So let's add in the overlays. We've got 4 days in a row now with the bullish days on TitanX. Currently, the price is at 6093,500. But you watch it. I think we're going to be heading back into 5-0 territory and up and away from there, right? It's going to be pretty aggressive. Now, I haven't added a lot of Fibonacci's or this or that over it because I really want to focus on the roadmap coming up before we get into a breakdown of all the other tokens that are in here. So let's have a look at the roadmap. Bam. Let's add that in. And this is what we're expecting at the moment for the TitanX ecosystem. So at the moment, this is where we are on the 17th of November. We're expecting Element 369. This is an add-on to Element 369. So Element there, we're getting that launching on the 21st. So that's coming up. That's from the dude who obviously does Helios and Element 280. So we're going to get Element 369 launching. It's going to be an add-on. It's going to give extra benefits to those participating in the ecosystem with that technology that's coming up on the 21st. So it's only a couple of days away. Then we've got straight after that, the 23rd, we've got Eden. Eden's going to be launching on top of, pretty much on top of, I'm going to use this in loose words, on top of a Lotus. And of course, this is going to be bullish for them. Bit of a good remedy for the issue that Lotus had. So that's going to be bullish. So yeah, Eden there coming up on the 23rd. Now, what do you see that's missing? What do you see that's missing? So this is bullish for, Element 280, bullish for Lotus. What do you see it's missing? Well, we're missing Turbo, aren't we? We're missing Turbo. Turbo is expected to launch on the 23rd. That's bullish for, what is it? Volt. And Turbo was supposed to be the second pillar. But where do you see Turbo at the moment? Well, we heard from Stevie D that Turbo is not launching on the 23rd. In fact, he's changed his whole game plan. And his game plan has matched all the things that I've been talking about in Discord. So it's great to see him now aligning with everything that I've been saying there. And so he's going to be launching Turbo with the most volume. With when the most volume comes out for Turbo. So when would that be? He didn't put a date, so he has no date. So this is my estimate. Obviously, Turbo there coming out there with Hyper. I've got the date for the 8th of December, so not the 23rd. This is my date. So the 8th there is where I've got that ticking in at the moment. In fact, I might change actually the color there just so people don't get confused by that. So that is my date for Turbo. This is hyper bullish for Hyper. You've already had the pillar Viper for DragonX. You got to remember that's these are the kind of the key core tokens that people think about, built on top of TitanX. So I got Hyper there for the 8th. That's my date. And that is when the big volume comes out. The big weekly volume candle comes out for Hyper is in that week. So that's when got the 88 day guys. That's coming out there. Now, Hydra is coming out next, and I've got here Beast. I think it's Beast. I forgot to put the A in there. We got the Beast coming out. Now, this is also my guess here. So we're going to give this a different color. Actually, let's give it a purple color. And this is coming out. This is coming out on the same weekly candle. So this is the clues that we've been given from Stevie today was that Beast would come out on top of this volume. Well, that's a little bit later, right? So that is coming out, in my view, possibly the 16th, somewhere around there. So that is kind of the play there. Obviously, 8s are often preferred, but that is kind of where I see this at the moment. So these are the next two hybrids. Now, Inferno, where's that? Inferno with the bull, no mention of that. So at this stage, that doesn't look like a priority, which that was going to be after Turbo. But at the moment, we've got Turbo and Beast. I love this. This is what I wanted. So this is great for me to see this in play. Now, what else do you see further out? You see Volt staking, right? Volt staking out here. Pretty exciting. Now, it's only getting better for Volt. Volt is really starting to look absolutely incredible. We're going to give this an orange. All right. So we're moving from ROI protocols to that. So it's going to be pretty cool. What else do you not see here? The wheel, right? The wheel's coming in, right? So the wheel's going to be coming in. Haven't got a date for that yet, but that is probably coming in between the Beast here and the Volt. We've also got that secret project, the 24 project. So we'll have a question mark. That's probably around Christmas time. So around here. But in any case, I've got Volt at the moment sitting in here, probably for the 8th of January, something like that. So this is when it's Volt staking. So once we have the wheel will be out somewhere here, no doubt, between the Beast and the Volt. We're going to have three protocols running in terms of pillars. But the difference about these Turbo and Beast pillars, they're not going to have Nexus. Obviously, Viper has Nexus. Viper is going very well with the Nexus. I'm really liking it. But one of the key changes that Stevie has talked about is the fact that it needs the volume, right? It needs the volume, and these do not have the volume at the moment. So if you see only the top ones have volume, Viper has the volume, Volt has the volume, DragonX has the volume, TitanX has the volume, but the other protocols don't really have million plus volume. So these ones are not getting a Nexus. That's basically the idea there. I think smart move there from Stevie D. But in terms of these will basically be like Volts on top of the Volt there with the Hyper. So they'll be basically on top of Hyper, I should say, and Beast on top of Hydra. Very bullish. Now, these aren't fixed deflationary tokens at the moment, but they're going to come out with peak inflation for these Hyper and Hydra, which are the two leverage plays on Hyper's the leverage play on TitanX, Hydra the leverage play on DragonX there. So very bullish, and that's going to absorb some of the volume. Now, before we even get to these, of course, even though we're not going to have Turbo coming out earlier on the 23rd here with Eden, we are going to have Ouroboros coming out probably somewhere in late November, early December. That was always going to take longer in my view, so we're waiting for a timeline for Ouroboros. That's the big DeFi. Remember, there's 3 big DeFi protocols that have launched: Element 280, and Titan Farms, and of course Ouroboros, which is the big lending stablecoin. So we're waiting for that. So it's probably somewhere in here. So that's going to benefit all the tokens. In particular, obviously, Volt's going to benefit from that because people are going to be able to supply sync into collateralize those tokens into Ouroboros. That's why it's a big deal, and it may have some impact on demand as well, assuming how much USDX gets floating around, right, and actually used to buy with the buy pools there. So that's kind of the play at the moment. Now, we know that Volt staking's coming out. Man, this thing just keeps getting better and better and better all the way. Every day, single day, we're going through here with Viper. We obviously, and with Volt itself, we're getting less and less. There's less and less Volt in existence. And so by the time we get out to Volt staking, potentially in 8th of January or so, something like that, it's currently in development, going to audit. And, well, at least by mid-December, probably go to audit. Is that we're going to have two other utilities as well are going to be coming for Volt. So Volt's going to get very scarce. It's going to have these beautiful perpetual auctions, buy and burns, and it's also going to have more utility coming. So Stevie D is switching into utilities, so it's going to be pretty awesome there. So we've got some good stuff happening. Obviously, with Inferno, there's about 5 projects at least for Inferno. With Turbo, with Hyper, obviously Ouroboros is going to be bullish for Hyper. Turbo is now coming for Hyper, which is like Volt and Hyper. We know that we're going to have other projects, I think, like Warp and Matrix, which are all coming for Hyper as well. They're proceeding pretty cool as well. So it's going to be really fun, folks. This is going to get filled out pretty quickly, leading into December, January with all these protocols coming. TitanX is really just starting to ramp up. So I'm very bullish about that. So that's kind of the overview there. And if TitanX gets this big breakout with this cup and handle, man, we are off to the races here. This is going to be a very valuable system. And at the moment, let's look at the last 24 hours and see the most valuable there. So Morpheus obviously has finished minting out. So people are racing to get their Morpheus. That is up 48.5% in the last 24 hours. So that's from rags to riches. Viper, of course, is the first pillar that we just talked about. Using DragonX, and that's a very bullish. So 1% of DragonX has now been burned through Viper. Isn't that incredible? And of course, Viper is also the #1 holder of DragonX. Can you believe it? So surprise. It is doing incredible at the moment. Volt, of course, is up in the leaderboard too, up 27%, with Viper up 35%. Volt's up 27%, and that's doing extremely well. And like I say, continue to get burned off. Inferno there is at number 4, up 26%. And you can see the 3 Volt pairs. Look at this: Volt Viper, Volt DragonX, and Volt TitanX are huge at the moment, up 25%. So Volt is roadmap with what they call the Volt Vision from Stevie D. Is looking, really, really, really exciting. Element 280 is going to benefit on the 21st from Element 369, and that's kind of a tag-on project that's going to add more rewards. That's up 19% at the moment. Tink Farm's actually doing really well. Look at this, $1.06, and we saw Eric talking about $2 because he has talked about the Titan Farms being so well distributed now, so balanced. It was the play. And so Tink Farms looking very, very hot to try. Remember, these are the best farms in crypto. There's no doubt the design of this is the best. And we're sitting at $1.07 at the moment. He said, $2. We went $2, question mark. But we've got all these cool farms. TitanX Farm, 300% APR at the moment. DragonX Viper, 210%. Rapid TitanX, 186%. Kind of cool. So we've got some really good returns here at the moment in the farms. Very, very exciting. And I think that DragonX Viper was the one that I recommended. So it's kind of cool. I'm not sure whether they got any whether it was because I recommended it, but hey, it's there now. There's the latest one there. We got DragonX Hydra, 165%. Volt DragonX, 152%. Hyper TitanX, 125%. Now, obviously, ones like Volt and DragonX, they're both hyper deflationary, right? So look at that. The yield, you've got deflationary tokens, you're earning APR of 152%. Come on, that's pretty awesome. And we're going to have some projects coming along for Tink, right? It's going to be pretty exciting to eat up Tink supply. And the burn is looking really good. The burn percentage is going up all the time. Was it 18% or something like that? It's pretty amazing. And the burn page just shows you how good that is with all the different burn pools in there. And I think that's only going to scale up. Particularly as we get a big rally. Maybe that cup and handle plays out in TitanX. Everything else rallies at a leverage. Then this liquid volume is going to head towards that big $100 million mark and beyond, I'm sure. And it's going to be pretty glorious with the fee burns. Because remember, a Tink is got a fixed mint supply every day. So if you increase those fee values, you're just increasing the implied price of Tink. It is going to be pretty cool. And then you add second layer protocols utilizing Tink supply. Well, it's game on, isn't it? Game on. So very excited about this. The best design in the market. So kind of cool. At the moment, we've got a nice little pump there. $1.06 in the old Tink price. Looking pretty good. Let's go over to what else we got going. We've got obviously Tink there, TitanX Farm. I'm really looking forward to it losing another 0 again, getting into 5 zeros. That could be coming up in very, very soon. We got obviously Hyper, and Hyper's going to get some love, as we just talked about, with the not only with Ouroboros and stuff, but with the actual pillar coming up, which is going to be Volt, a Volt version of on Hyper. And of course, we've got X28. Now, X28 is going to take TitanX Omni-Chain. I'm so excited about it. We've already hit a massive number with this, right? So if we go to TitanX and have a look at the website, then we can see how much TitanX has gone in there. Let's go to the stats, and we can see we've got 55 trillion liquid at the moment of TitanX. But let's go have a look at how much is coming out in the future. Obviously, we've got miners coming out. So we're going to have, stakers coming out by day 396. So that's about 8-9 days away. We're going to have the final stakers, the ones that stake for 369 payout. They're going to have those miners come out. It's going to be a big day on 396 because it's going to be 2.2 trillion. That's going to be pretty big. And we got 55 trillion at the moment. So I think we might peak out at 60 trillion or just below that. And then it's game on right after that. And then we'll just see this number go down and we'll move into that so-called hyperdeflationary, depending on how you define it. But that's kind of where we're heading. And if we look at future inflation coming out of the miners, look at it. You can hardly see it. So today we're on like 76 billion. Tomorrow's going to be like 47 billion. You can hardly see it. It's just absolutely gone. Look at what it used to be. These big candles in dark purple here. You can't see it very much, but we've got hardly anything coming out here in the month of November. Isn't that crazy? And December's virtually got nothing in there. So it's exciting times. So once those stakers are out on day 396 in about 9 days, then it's game on for TitanX. It's absolutely game on. But of course, we could have X28 launching anytime soon. X28, the word on the street is it could be anytime soon. We saw a comment from Jake Sharp in Telegram that X28 could be anytime soon. So we're excited about where that goes. So let's have a quick look at the burn on this. So we're going to go to the burn tab here on the leaderboard and have a look at the burn here. So we've got X28 at the moment has taken in 1,132 billion TitanX. Isn't that awesome? And it really doesn't have any other use case at the moment apart from burning, but it's going to have Shogun on it, right? Shogun is the big game changer. It's going to be the first killer app on the X28, which is the omni-chain coin, right? So it's taking TitanX supply and it's spreading it out with one fixed supply over to other chains, where other chains will have new protocols develop over there. Obviously, ones like Titan Farms could go to other chains, things like that. So we've had 534 billion TitanX, over $500 billion TitanX burned through X28, and it hasn't even got the applications on it yet. So this is very exciting where this is going to go. TitanX is about to not only dominate Ethereum, I think, but dominate multiple top volume EVM chains. So it's going to be really exciting to see that play out. All right, so that is kind of the exciting stuff happening there. Let's not forget the buy and burn actually on PulseX. On TitanX, I should say. We're sitting at $13.7 million at the moment, sitting in there. And don't forget there's the buy and burns in Viper as well. In Hyper. That's pretty exciting too. So that's looking pretty good on that X28. Now let's have a quick look at some of the other ones that are ticking away. The ALGO up 12%, AwesomeX up 11%, Lotus is up 10% there. Of course, Lotus is going to benefit from this Eden that's launching. So that's going to be pretty exciting this week. What else we got going there? That's going to be on the 23rd, remember. We've got BDX in the house there, up 7%. Now, remember, Eden's going to have some pretty cool stuff. It's going to be preloaded. So the 8-day, I think it's a 48-day, 88 days, going to be preloaded with 200 billion TitanX into each of them. So you're going to see some, I think, people wanting to get in on Eden pretty quickly, particularly if you do 6-day miners or less. You're going to be able to participate quite well in that. So I think you're going to quite see some good action there on the old Eden. Baby Dragon X up 7% there. Pulsar up 6.7%. Janus up 5% there. Hydra, which is going to get a lot of love with Beast. And like I said, I think by maybe around the 16th of middle of December, we could see that pillar launch. That's up 5% today at the moment. Now, that's when we're expecting that peak inflation, right, between the 8th for Hyper and with the 88 days. And, of course, particularly on Hydra on mid-December there. So that's when we're expecting that peak inflation as well. So that's coming up. Blaze is up 5%, Flux up 4%, Helios is up 2%. Helios seems to be undervalued, but we know the dude is working on things for Helios, so keep a lookout for that. Legend X is up 1.5% there. Oribor, which is waiting for that to launch, the big third DeFi, the big lending, and USDX up 1.2%, and then the main coin JackX is down 12% after having quite a decent rally in the previous days. So that's kind of the overview of where this is all heading at the moment. Morpheus, of course, has ended its launch phase, and now it's in price discovery phase now. We'll see how high this goes. But yeah, that's kind of where this one is at the moment. The other one, of course, is Viper. Viper, they're hitting over 2 cents. That could be doing some price discovery phase as well, just like we saw with Volt. So fun times ahead for these projects. It's going to be cool. Let's see what else we got. Excited times in house here. Better gameplay is buy and burn Tink, as this coin shows the health of the entire system. To the farm, you have to buy coins. Turn the Tink when farmer Abe. Yeah, well, that's probably going to be a little bit later. I think he's definitely Tink farm could get a pillar. We'll see. I haven't heard him mention that recently. He's definitely going for volume, and probably volume that's $1 million or more. So keep note of that. Duke's in the house there. Cheers, everybody. Now, the other thing, of course, we talked about Volt with the staking. Staking is going to be earning fees from all the volumes fees in the LPs for Volt. It's massive. It's like Titan Farms, but instead of having burning, you're going to have income, and that people might price that in more valuable even. So yeah, but we've got two things going on, right? We've got burning, we've got income, we've got second layer protocols eating supply. So you've got these dynamics playing off against each other. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see that play out too. So I think Volt's going to get a lot of love from that. What else there? We got Duke in the house there. Cheers, everybody. Could see a Duke and liking the green rings there. Excited times says people are not incentivized to convert to X28 yet. A high ROI X28 Tink pool would encourage both X28 conversions and also buy Tink. Yeah, well, the other thing is we're waiting for Shogun, right? So Shogun is on the list. I'm pretty sure it's down here somewhere. Actually, it's on the here. Actually, it's not even showing on here yet. But Shogun, we're expecting that to come. And of course, that could be anytime soon. So Jake Sharp has put that in Telegram that it's pretty soon, I think. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. It's going to be the first killer app. We also see some of the other teams pivoting on that as well. So I think just trying to think which project it is. You're going to be using X28 in their protocol. I'm just trying to remember which one it is. I can't remember whether it's one of the two ones launching this week. I think it might be, is it possibly Eden? Possibly. Just can't remember which one it is. I just skipped my memory on that one. Let me know in the chat if you guys remember. But it is coming up there. Actually, I think it is Phoenix, is it? Let me just go through this list here just so I make sure I get the right one. I think it's Phoenix or Warp. It's Phoenix or Warp. So I think it's Phoenix or Warp. So let's have a quick look at Warp just to double check on that. Phoenix or Warp. Yeah, so it's Warp. So users mint Warp tokens in the first 7 days with ETH, X28 or Hyper or Tink. So actually this is going to be bullish too. I'm not sure the launch phase of this, but I do know that that is a big move. So they already moved to X28, and this is from the LP guys, right? So this is the project from the LP guys. So that is pretty bullish there too. So lots of good stuff happening. Scale is middle of its mint. 2 days left, says Excited Times. Yes, a scale on Baby DragonX. Yeah, I haven't really covered that enough, to be honest. I covered it a little bit at the beginning, but have not covered it much at the moment. Let's quickly have a look. I think we've got that up on the leaderboard up here. Scale, yeah, 11 days. So that's ticking away there. So we'll quick look at Baby DragonX. So scale. That's something to take into account there. What is it? Total minted. Was at 375 billion scale. Mint ends in 1 day and 17 hours. So there we go. Excited Times. So there's a little bit of coverage there. You can either use ETH or TitanX from the looks of it. Current allocations. Baby DragonX. They got 127 billion TitanX in there. Hydra miners, they got what's that, 39 billion TitanX in there as well. So ticking away. Yeah, haven't really done enough coverage on that. Probably should do more. There is a white paper though, so you can go read that on the white paper. And it's got a high level view here, so you can tinker into that as well. This is on TitanX Hub, of course. Minting allocation, tokenomics. Baby DragonX buy and burn, market wallet. What else there? Fixed there. So tax ranges from 2.5% up to 7%. So presume there's on the V2 pool. Ticking away there. What else we got there? I did the math on rate on farms, Tink Mint, and day 41 total supply, percentage relative rate of inflation to the overall minted. It is now only just over 1% inflation rate. We'll wait until some projects all gather. You have to build and build. Absolutely, you're absolutely right on that. It's going to be pretty amazing. I'm very bullish on Tink. Hex Fetty and Alcy, yo, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. From TEDx and Rudy are building on X28, says Excited Times. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure those are the ETH LP guys, right? The LP bull guys. Warp was building on X28 and also burning Tink, yes, and I did cover that, so that's cool. Yeah, I just couldn't remember which one it was off the top of my head, whether it was Warp or Phoenix, but we worked it out, didn't we? We worked it out. So all these projects are coming up in the TitanX X, isn't that crazy? 22, and we got more as well. So there's more coming into this list. So and then going multi-chain, right? Multi-chain with Omni-chain there with X28. Now remember, 50% of the TitanX that goes in there gets burned, and of course that's only going to get even more bullish when Shogun launches, because you're also going to be able to go with your TitanX stakes and match that with liquid TitanX. So that could be a huge buy driver as well of TitanX, in addition to all the other bullish things happening in the ecosystem. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. All right, so that is pretty much it on that one. Let's jump out of there. So if things are looking pretty good, we're pretty much, only about 8 or 9 days from TitanX moving into the true deflationary level, where we'll have max out, maybe up to 60 trillion and down from there. It'll be interesting to see what the few whales that do come out in the next few days do as well. But very excited for where this is heading with all this big roadmap and buy and burns in play, and going omni-chain, of course. That is kind of cool. Let's jump into some of the highlights here. I wanted to talk about, zoom in on the Viper Vault, because the Nexus technology is pretty exciting, and we are seeing some pretty exciting things here. So at the moment, we are buy pressure at the moment of 60.5 billion DragonX. That was sitting at about 69 billion yesterday. So that's down a bit lower today. Now, obviously, as prices get more expensive, and we're seeing, Viper and Volt doing very well with the prices, the volume will have to compete with that. And so we'll end up with less volume. Now, Volt here at the moment, we ended up with 27.3 billion. But yesterday, I just got a little snapshot here, so let me pull that up. Yesterday we had 29.8 billion. We got 27.3. Obviously, Volt's been going up, in price. So that's where we are at the moment. We got Viper, of course. Remember, Volt buys Viper. We got Viper at the moment is sitting at 41.2 million. Viper. Yesterday we had 32.6. So we're up on the Viper. So we're down on the Volt, but up on the Viper. On the DragonX, we had 34.5 million approximately yesterday with the buy pressure. We're now at 40.3. So this Nexus is working very well, folks. And it works particularly well with the high volumes. And obviously volume and Volt and Viper are adding that, as well as DragonX or high volume traded tokens on the TitanX ecosystem. So this is good, working very, very well. We can already see that the DragonX for tomorrow's balance is already higher, 46 billion over 40. So this is going very cool. And remember, DragonX buys Volt. So that's a very bullish sign there moving forward. So kind of cool. But of course, Volt's been going up in price as well. So it impacts the burn too. So kind of cool there at the moment. And of course, those are the bonds we're watching. Now, of course, if you add up the US dollar value, then the value is going up and away, right? So it's really, really, really good. We've been watching it go from like 1.2 million up to 3.5 million yesterday. The buy pressure there, so pretty awesome. At the moment, we've got 800k in the input of buy pressure, 60.5 billion DragonX. Right, so that's pretty cool. So let's add that up quickly while we're here. We've got 800 there. Now, obviously, the underlying token amounts is probably more important, but we're going to do it just for fun. We're going to add up the US dollar values just to show you how sort of big this is getting. So we've got 1278 for buy pressure today in the Nexus. We've got 857 for the Viper. So this is combined buy pressure. And then we've got 534 there for DragonX. So that gives us, $3.5 million US of buy pressure running through both the input here, buy pressure, and the Nexus buy pressure as well, adding all up. Now, remember, every time it goes around a cycle, as long as the inputs are going in, generally it's supposed to get bigger. And but it does have these leakages that go out, in terms of LP, in terms of burning and things like that, and in terms of perpetual auctions that it's feeding as well. So it's got a lot of mechanisms in there. The stats at the moment looking pretty good. 9.5% of Viper have been burned. We've got liquid supply, way lower start than what we had for Volt, right? 767 million in there at the moment. 95 million has been burned of Viper. The Treasury's got 137.6 million, so it's a very high Treasury start. Remember, it started off with 100 million straight off the bat there on day 9. We're on day 10 now, so we're a day and a half in. We've got the Volt yield at the moment, 9,666%. That won't last long, as we all know. And Viper's at 881%. But this is unusually high at this time of day. Normally, this is way down lower, but I'm sure this will get closed out as we head. No one's going to leave that sort of return on the table like that. So that will be filled in later on. What's in the auction today? We got 33 million Viper at the moment in auction with 5.2 billion DragonX, and we've well over 1 billion DragonX has gone into Viper so far. So almost 1.1 trillion DragonX gone there. Absolutely amazing results. Like I say, it's burned about 1% of DragonX and is the number one wallet holder of DragonX at the moment. So pretty awesome. What is that going to do for the price? Well, it could do some pretty special things. So let's go have a look at what we had with Volt, make sure Volt TitanX, and have a look at how that profiled. This is on the daily here. So we had a 10-day auction, if you guys remember. So we moved into 10 days. And we had, so after the 10-day auction here, we moved down a couple of days, and then we started rallying big time, right? After about 3 days afterwards, we started rallying big time. So we're going to see something similar here with the Viper, especially now that Viper has crossed over 2 cents. So it'll be interesting. We've had 4 good days in a row here. Obviously, we've finished the auction. There was an 8-day auction. So we finished that, and we're basically on day 10 now. So are we going to see a bit of a sell-off and then a take-off, or we're just going to see a rally here now that we've broken 2 cents? So let me know what you think. Certainly looking pretty bullish there. All right, so that is the old Viper doing some pretty amazing stuff there. Got rid of my chart accidentally. Let's get back into the chat there and say hello a few things before we get into a bit of X1. We're going to talk about that quickly. What else did we got? Log Crypto and Hustle. Good morning, TitanX. Lots of green hearts there. Good morning to you. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Man, this ecosystem is just looking fantastic, isn't it? Really to dominate Ethereum and going omni-chain. I'm super bullish. Shogun, really bullish where Steve's heading with the Vault vision from ROI protocols with the pillars, with the wheel, and then into utility like staking, earning the fees from the LP. Very bullish, and other utilities coming as well. 2 other utilities that he's got planned. I'm very excited about that. So this ecosystem's offering something for everybody. If you like the full-on ROI protocol stuff, then Inferno's offering that. Inferno has actually the biggest burn on at the moment. It's like 56% or something like that. So Inferno has got probably half a dozen projects at least coming in the line there, maybe much more. So yeah, but that's definitely more ROI protocolish, whereas we see Vault going after the ROI protocols are listed, going into utilities as well, which I think is a great move. Now there's been talk about making more Ethereum projects as well, having more ETH going. So we've got more ETH LPs, so that we're not just ETH TitanX pool. I think that's going to be a good move for the strength of TitanX moving forward as well. Really encourage things like that. So let's see where that heads in the future. All right, let's bring into, I didn't talk about the Vault buy and burn, but of course, in addition to Viper, there's a Vault buy and burn ticking away. I think it's about 150K in there, something like that. That's burnt buy and burn pressure. So that's ticking away. In fact, we might quickly talk about that before I move on, because we're going to wrap up with the old Vault, because it's definitely looking pretty exciting there. And see where the Vault is burning. All right, so let's pull that up before we get into TitanX. Sorry, X1, I should say, and Zen. So we're at 31.7% of Vault is burned now. And that is, we've got 717,698,000 left. And it's interesting, Viper's not far above that, is it? We've got the Vault burned 333 million. And at the moment, the Vault balance at just under 20 million. That's probably going to get it to get to like 22 million or so, with 14 hours to go. Now, the buy and burn at the moment is tinkering away. Remember, this is also supported by Vipers, Nexus, and etc. But the buy pressure alone in Vault is 140K, and that's 148 billion TitanX in there at the moment. So that's ticking away. Also, the auction obviously offering some pretty stellar yield at the moment. This is not going to be around for long, almost 10,000%. And yeah, there's 4.5 million Vault in there. So that's been going up. So that's been going up because of the success of Nexus and Viper. And I've been monitoring that every day. It's gone up really nice. So pretty happy with that setting. We see other projects also, copying some of that, right? So copying some of this DVD picture auctions because they have been working so well. All right, let's get into that. Bam. We've got some other Moondog and House. Hey, Moondog. Good old Moondog there, Hex Token channel member. Big shout out, love and light, absolutely. All right, let's get into our final topic, which is Zen. Let's have a look at Zen. And we're waiting for X1. Let me pull up some stuff for that. I should normally have this preloaded, but haven't had anything lately. We're going to have a look at Zen. And let's have a look. There we go on the weekly. This is the week. We have to do the weekly for the Zen chart, as you guys know. The forever down chart. Is that what they say? Well, they say it about a lot of charts, right? It's not just Zen. But let's get into that. Bam. All right. So this is the Zen chart. Let's go full mode on that. It's down 10% today. This is the weekly chart on the forever down Zen chart. Now, obviously, you guys know that to mint Zen, you had to use Ethereum, and of course, people spent like $150 million or something on Zen. Really bad tokenomics, but it is one way of distribution. Is $150 million fair crypto? You guys decide. You guys decide. I personally, it's not so great, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's X1 chain, right? The first fork of Solana. It's got all the latest bells and whistles in terms of tokenomics and technology. So we are excited about that. So there is an end game. If there's no end game, then it's, it is what it is. But with an end game like X1, very exciting where that will head. So yeah, at the moment we're at 6 zeros, 1300. So there could be a lot of upside to this with the X1 chain, depending on how the allocation of XN coin. So if you're not from an X1 chain there, first fork of Solana, is going to have all the bells, whistles, hydrogen layer, and other things like that into it. It's very, very exciting. Now, when could it launch? Now, we've been waiting many times for launch, but it is technically ready to launch. So we are waiting, maybe December. Maybe December we'll get the launch. It has gone to testnet like a couple of days ago, the final testnet, and so we're waiting for mainnet alpha. It could be getting pretty close. Zen did have a little rally on the back of that. It did lose a zero. It had 7 zeros, now got 6 zeros, 1300. It did have a little bit of a rally there on the weekly. So there is potential for some big upside here, some big extra returns once we get more news around the XN allocation, particularly with a Zen party burning, if that is still the mechanism they're going to be using. So we're going to use an auction system with credits. So we'll see how that goes. As Zen does go up as a function of ETH of the gas price, if that gas gets expensive, then Zen does tend to rally on that too. So it does have more than just the X1 mechanism for price appreciation. On the daily, you can see where we're heading here. We had a nice little pump there on the test net there. So it does look like X1's getting closer. I really do think that we can't be too far off. Maybe December is the launch phase. We will see where we head from there. Now let's quickly go and have a look at Jack Levin, who's the founder of that project. People call him AKA the Vampire, but let's have a look at him here. And let's see what we've got here. So he's got a couple of posts here, but nothing really highlighting X1 at the moment. But we did have the testnet, as I say. Let's go to Zenpub. Zenpub has actually sent some better updates. So Zenpub, of course, is the big info, a bit like the Mike Dean. The Mike Dean of X1 Zen is Zenpubs. They're kind of about the same equivalent type of information flow. So yeah, let's have a look here. So where are we up to here? Let's go and scroll down here. Let's see. All right, so this is where we're up to here. So good morning, Zenians. Zen market cap nearly doubled. That was obviously with the pump around testnet. And Zen surged 6% in the last 7 days. On the X1 front, over 50 validators have moved to the latest X1 testnet released last night. So this is only a couple of days ago. Next up is X1 mainnet alpha. So that's what's coming up at the moment. There could be some big re-rates for Zen if it's done right. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, Zenpubs there is the big data site, which they do a fantastic job. I mean, they really are fantastic with the data, and they really know their stuff there. So yeah, what else we can say about that? Let's see what else they've got on here at the moment. So that's kind of the play. So got to be getting close. Got to be getting close to launch. Maybe December with this last testnet. Surely that's the final run. And getting the validators up to scratch, right? That's kind of the par there. We are waiting for tokenomics. We are waiting for tokenomics there from the X1 to see how that's going to be allocating XN. Now, obviously, there's other tokens. People are doing mining Zen blocks with Zenium, so that's Zenium's going to be used for, as we understand it, for the DEX. And we know the DEX news came out the other day. So the DEX on X1. And so there's lots of things coming out, and so we'll just have to see where it lies, So we have Zenium as the main coin, X1, and Zenium, XNM is looks like it's going to be the DEX coin. There are super blocks, so those will probably use some sort of multiplier or amplifier. Potentially, you can stake XNM coin on the on X1 and earn XN coin. So you can see some of the value drivers there. Now, we do know that Jack Levin wants to launch X1 with a relatively low value, so you can get the big upside. So we're going to see how that all plays out. Obviously, there are people been mining Zenium. People have been also mining SolZen on Solana, and that's kind of done relatively well lately. So this could all be really good low prices to get in on at the moment with the SolZen, with the ecosystem. You can see SolZen has lost the zero here. Down now at 4 zeros, 11.20. Has had pretty big pumps, pretty volatile, so you got to ride through that. But it has been re-rated since mining finished, right? Mining finished, and it got re-rated there. So it's all these, Zen blocks, SolZen, all got different mining profiles. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. SolZenCat, which I do like, has got a fixed supply. It's being burned off as well. That's re-rated itself also. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. I do like that. If X1 launches, I think ZenCat's going to do some pretty magical things as the #1 meme coin. on the channel. And it's also got lock liquidity and looks very well supported by Jack Levin himself. So that could do some magic as well. So yeah, closer and closer. Let's see where we end up. It's much more, I guess, a mining chain at the moment, but I think it's going to offer something for everybody there. X1 chain based on Solana, dynamic thread scaling, subcommittee voting, faster block building, homomorphic encryption, dynamic fee market, performance-based leadership, blockchain production, some of the POW, proof of work, the embrace open source as well. It's going to be UAP. So yeah, lots of cool things coming next one that really will have all of those and great stuff there. I'm pretty excited where it's going to head up there. And it's good to see an in-game for Zen, right? Good to see an in-game for Zen. All right, so that's pretty much it on that one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. An hour on the live stream. We have covered a lot. We've covered TitanX and Vault. We've covered the whole TitanX ecosystem. Looking forward to X28 to be fully realized once Shogun launches. It's going to be game on. We are seeing other protocols starting to use a TitanX, starting to use X28. Super bullish for those. Can't wait for Ouroboros to launch with the big lending platform. And what else are we going to say? We're going to say enjoying Dog getting the good news. We were waiting for that patiently. It's starting to come. We've had Kraken perpetuals. We've got now Binance futures. So Dog starting to rule Moon there. And will it be the #1 meme coin in the world? We shall see in this bull market. Still a long way to go. Zen, of course, waiting for the tokenomics, tokenomics and allocations for getting XN coin on next one. That's going to be pretty cool. Hex, of course, is starting to break out over 2 cents. We saw that yesterday, looking extremely bullish. It is going to be obviously cycle 2 coin, but man, the magic on Pulse Chain with the magic cart ride, maybe P die maker theory, looking pretty cool. PulseX looks undervalued. Man, game on, right? Game on. And all you have to do is, lift the price of Pulse and the whole chain starts to go crazy. So don't fade it. Don't fade it. You've still got time to pick up some pretty good value there at the moment. So go for gold. Go for gold. Hey, you guys enjoyed the stream today? Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We are streaming on 3 channels: Superman Crypto, Hex Token channel, and Pulse Chain X. And over 10,500 subscribers. So thanks to everybody for that. If you haven't gone to our Discord, the Pulse Chain Hex Discord is $5 a month. It's a private Discord. We've also got a strategy club. So if you want the next level of alpha, we post tons of intel in there constantly every day. That is the strategy club. That's $35 a month. So really good value there for a great intel flow. We often have discussions and stuff around strategies and things. So well worth getting in on that. Big shout out to all the members there at the moment. And if you want to get into PUSD ALGO, which I think is really a killer DApp, the link's in the video description for that. Get a 90% bonus straight away. And if you do $1,000 inclusive of that bonus, then you will get that bonus X up to 2x randomly generated. So 2 bonuses, pretty good for that. Now we do have to hit that $1 million target, so we have to be pragmatic about when that project will get up and running. But it's pretty exciting. Hopefully Jacob, who's really the #1 peer-to-peer developer in the world, will get that up and running. Hopefully, if we can get that financial target by Q1 next year, would be pretty cool. All right, take care, everybody. I will catch you guys again in probably about 2 days' time. Until then, I'll see you in Discord. Take care and bye for now. Woohoo! Crypto bull market is begun, man. It has begun. Enjoy.